How we doing today, everybody? It is October 29th, 1:29 p.m. It is the professional trader here, aka the funded trader, aka Usman Afalabi, here again with another video. Sorry about that. Today's video is just going to be a weekly analysis on the Forex markets, taking a look at how I see things and taking a look at how I plan to proceed, if these things do happen, as well as going over my FTMO account for the people who are on that journey with me. So let's just go ahead and get started. Before we take a look at the Forex markets, let's just go ahead and take a look at Forex Factory from Sunday to Friday. So see, Monday we have some Euro news, we have some JPY news, we have the Bank of Japan policy rate and their monetary policy statement. So that'll be important for things like GBP JPY, CAD JPY, and for USD JPY. USD JPY has been hovering around that 150 mark, so it's interesting. Yeah, but that's just Monday. So Monday, we're starting off the gate pretty interesting. Tuesday, that's actually my birthday, Halloween. Happy birthday to me. We have some more JPY news. We have GDP for Canada. We have unemployment for USD and CB consumer confidence, and then we also have some NZD unemployment news as well. So Monday, Tuesday, we're starting off on pretty fundamental. Wednesday, we also have a lot of news. We have FOMC. That should be pretty important. We have ADP non-farm employment. Thursday, we have a lot of GBP news, so that should be very important for GBP, things like GBP USD, GBP JPY. And then, Friday, we have non-farm employment change, unemployment rates, and, anybody who's been on the Forex markets for a while knows that, those are pretty market moving news things, right? So every day this week, we have some pretty important things. So this week, pretty fundamental week. So just knowing that, for the last previous weeks, from a fundamental standpoint, the dollar has been, it's been positive for the dollar. News has been coming out that's been strong for the dollars, but price action really hasn't gone with that. So going into this week, just having that information at hand, knowing news has been pretty positive for the dollar, and seeing that we have all this news coming out, not just for the dollar, but for a lot of pairs. I'm keeping in the back of my mind that, price action hasn't been super bearish, but it hasn't been super bullish, but fundamentals have been bullish. So, right. So I'm just gonna take that knowledge before I start looking at pairs. So, looking at the DXY, I always like to start off with the DXY. Let me just go ahead and clear all this. We can start off on the weekly chart, right? So looking at the DXY, we see we can kind of draw this trend line right here, right? We see for the last previous weeks, from this is about literally almost a year, coming up to a year, right? Every time after this big impulse move, we kind of been retracing that, right? And then we've kind of been in this downward structure, right? But every time we've tried to break higher, we can't, right? So we rejected it once here, we rejected it another time here, and then we rejected it a third time here, right? And that's on the weekly chart, so that's pretty important. But we see on September 4th, right? We broke bullish, breaking this, mini resistance right here, right? And ever since then, right, we've been on this kind of bullish uptick, right? But price hasn't been exhausting, but for the last couple of weeks, we saw that we peaked up here, but closed pretty bearish. And then the week after that, we kind of closed bullish, but not, super momentum. The week before that kind of just closed in between this candle. And then, last week we wicked down here and then, closing this in this bullish uptrend here. So, twice here, we've rejected and we've gone up. So, a weekly potential support level to pay attention to. But on the weekly chart, in my honest opinion, nothing has really just said that, this price is going to start selling, and nothing has really shown me that it's a bearish chart either, right? To me, price is still bullish. Even though price has exhausted a little bit, nothing has really just told me to start selling this pair yet. So with that knowledge on the weekly, I go to the daily. Right. We see that we kind of double bottomed in this area last week, right? So I just want to see this week, could we start a new uptrend, right? Could we break above this and start to see the DXY go higher? Or, are we gonna come down here a third time, to start to maybe consolidate in this area? Or are we going to break this area and maybe start to retest other support levels, maybe down here and things of that nature, or maybe price coming back to this trend line, which also lines up with this resistance level, with this support level down here, right? So it'll be pretty interesting for the DXY. But for me personally, I'm going to be still bullish on the DXY just because nothing has really told me to do otherwise. So take that knowledge. And then we look at something like USDCAD. And for anybody who has been watching, my videos now, on USDCAD, I've kind of been bullish for the last couple of weeks from this level down here. We were struggling to break this noisy area right here, for the last couple of weeks. We were closing above it and then wicking above it. And then, last week we saw that we closed above it, right? And then not last week, 2 weeks ago, we saw that we closed above it. And then, this week we saw that we've pulled up to this resistance area, right? I believe the market's closed, pretty bullish. So I've been buying USD CAD, but I'm not in any buys right now. I closed out on all of my buys either on Thursday or Friday. I'm not really sure. But for USD CAD, there's two things that's gonna happen. It's gonna break this. The market's gonna start breaking this level. And then we have this level right here, and then that's about 100 plus pips. And then price can also start to reject this level, and then that can be also another potential buying opportunity. Or we can start to see price start to make lower lows and things like that, right? And we can start to see price head back here and start to break this and start to head lower. So I'm more so looking for either one of these two opportunities. I'm not really looking for that bearish opportunity just because I think the risk to reward on buying this is better than selling it. But we see we're at this obvious level of resistance here. So it'll be pretty interesting to see what happened on USD CAD. Some reason when I go to the daily chart, it doesn't show my analysis. All right, yeah. So it'll be interesting. I was in these buys somewhere around here. I think I closed out when price started to retrace around here. You can say I closed out pretty early because the market's closed pretty nicely. But yeah, basically just want to see if maybe we're gonna pull back here before we start to go higher, or are we just going to break out? We've kind of already did it on the 4 hour, but not with the most momentum. But if price starts to retest here, and we start to see some consolidation and like wicks in this area, then that would be a nice opportunity. But that's how I feel about USD CAD. USD Swiss franc. Talking about USD Swiss franc. I said, like I said, don't really like the pair. Don't really like the pair the cleanest, but we saw that last week. This market did close in this. That's nice. Bullish momentum for sure, right? We see that we have this mini resistance and support area, and price has been in this bullish uptrend for a while, but price had given a lot of that back in the previous weeks. But the dollar has just been pretty bullish, so this has been holding, but doesn't not a bullish uptrend on the daily. On the weekly, and not really on the daily either. But with a strong DXY price hitting this support level. Just wanted to see if this level could hold. It's holding a little bit, so just want to see if that strong DXY can continue to push it. And I only like this pair just because of the risk to reward. Only reason why I like it. But technical analysis isn't really saying to buy this. But fundamentals of the DXY is. So that's really my only reason for being in this trade. But yeah, looking at it, we see we're kind of starting to make starting to make these higher highs. We broke out of here, then we broke out of this resistance as well. So and then last week we closed in this nice bullish to me like potential continuation. And to me, markets look like they could just open up and potentially continue going up. But I don't know why that was a tongue twister, but what's how I feel about USDCHF. Euro AUD, for anybody who is watching, like I said, continuation. I've been liking Euro AUD from a bullish perspective for the last couple of weeks now. Let's go ahead and delete all this. Right. So I've been liking USDC, Euro AUD, sorry. Been liking Euro AUD for a buy for the last couple of weeks now. And we've been getting that, right? We saw that, we had this obvious break level right here, right? Price broke it. But ever since then we've been retracing that move. But after finding support down here, for the last several weeks, we have been bullish. But last week, we saw that we tried to break higher a little bit, but couldn't, and we closed pretty bearish. But we see that we did wick this area, the same area that we wicked the week before that, right? So potential support area down there. But to me, this last week's candle showed that that buyers may not be ready to break this resistance. I wouldn't call it resistance, but this area that price went to on April 17th of 2023, right? We might need to retrace a little bit, right, before potentially continuing higher. So that's what last week's candle tells me. So go on the daily. Hey, well, I don't know why my things aren't showing up on the daily. Kind of freaking sucks. All right, we go on the daily. I'll just go on the 4-hour, I guess. Right, we see we kind of broke higher, but we didn't peak up, with the greatest impulse. And then we saw that sellers stepped in, right? But as quick as sellers stepped in is as quick as buyers stepped in, right? And now we have this lower high. So to me, not bearish, not bearish at all, but buyers I'm not gonna say probably need more momentum, but looks like price potentially could dip down, potentially just a little bit more, just because price might need to find more momentum or something like that. But we see that we've been holding this uptrend. So could price do something like this where it's coming down here, right, and continuing to go? That's possible. Or could price even dip lower than that? And I really wish. Okay, yes, thank you. It's showing, right. Or could price, yeah, could it even dip right here down to this trend line, right? So sorry, let me do that again. So yeah, could price, dip down here? Could it even dip down a little bit here, wick out, and then, potentially continue to go? So that's what I'm looking at for Euro AUD. Price could potentially dip down a little bit more, but I still like the overall bullish trend that it's in. So I'm just looking to continue to buy Euro AUD whenever it dips. I was in buys all last week. I exited out on Thursday and Friday. I took this buy though on Friday. But I'm not in the I'm not the like biggest risk. I'm in a small positions just because price can come down here, and this is 135 pips, but the reward is 349. So I'm only risking about, $50. But if price does close below here, might exit the position early and look to buy if price can, find support, down here. So yeah, that's how I feel about Euro AUD. AUD USD, I'm in a couple of positions on AUD USD, and I'll go ahead and explain why. I didn't mean to do that. Just go ahead and hide these. Right, so let's take this to the weekly on AUD USD. So for the past several weeks on AUD USD, I've been talking about price breaking this support level that is down here, right? And after breaking the support level down here, we have this support level down here. But with that, we see that for the last several weeks, not several weeks, but for the last 2 to 3 weeks, the price has came up here, rejected. We saw that the last thing happened last week. So even though we're not getting the most it's not the most volatile pair at the moment, price is still most definitely showing that it is bullish on the weekly chart. So that is why I'm still trading this pair from a not did I say bullish? If I said bullish, I'm embarrassed, but price is still showing that this is a bearish trading chart. So that's why I am still trading this in a bearish direction. And if we look on the daily chart, right, we see that we've kind of just been slowly downtrending, right? And then we saw that let me go ahead and bring back this position that I have. Right. And then we also have, many resistance right here. We could call that daily resistance, but maybe more so like 4 hour resistance, right? Because if you go on the 4 hour, right, we see that once, twice, we've rejected that, right? So price pulled back up here, kind of closed below this area. We saw that we've been struggling to close below this area right here. Not the biggest impulse move, right? This is not clear. This is not a clear lower low, even though it is lower, not the most clear lower low, right? And then we see that we've pulled back. But taking the fib tool, drawing it from this peak up here, to right here. Right, we see that price came and retraced to the 618. Saw that it came to the 618. We had this indecision candle followed by price breaking up here, rejecting, closing bearish, followed by another bearish candle, right? So I like that. I like that to the sell side potentially. So that's just what I'm looking at for AUD USD. This week, can we just see that dollar strength? And with that dollar strength, could we maybe finally get the push down and then the clean break of this level, and then price just continue to trend lower. So that's what I personally feel about on AUD USD. Gold, right? Look at this on the weekly, right? Big for the last 3 weeks, heavy impulse candles to the upside. We have this obvious level of resistance right here, right? And for the last 3 weeks, we see that it looks like price is just potentially heading to that. We had this we can call this resistance here. We rejected once, we rejected twice before price started to trend lower. And this week we see that we have broken above it. So for gold, just to keep it simple, I don't know why it's not showing up on the daily chart, but just to keep it simple on gold, you know, it's a little contradicting at the moment, just because for the most part, we usually see gold and the dollar do the opposite. But just because the times we're in, that doesn't mean that they cannot head in the same direction. So personally for gold, if we can get any type of retracement back to this now potentially support, I'll be looking to buy it to this level of resistance right here. So yeah, that's it for gold for me, unless we start to see it just break this break that right here, and then just start to make lower lows. But I think the best risk to reward is buying it and not selling it. So I'm not gonna go against the trend. So that's how I feel about gold. You don't need to overcomplicate it. But if we can get that pullback, it'd be nice. But if that pullback doesn't happen, then personally, there's no trade for me. GBP USD. Let's just go ahead and clear this out. Look at GBP USD on the weekly, right? Kind of like the same thing with Euro USD. Like, for the last couple of weeks, even though it is bearish, price hasn't really been trending in a bearish direction, but it hasn't been trending, in a bullish direction either, right? It's lost a little bit of momentum. GBP USD, we see that we've just we wicked this area, right? Just this area a lot of times, right? And we've rejected it. But for GBP USD, just want to see if we can get the break of that, that level. Right. Had a good opportunity when price pulled back here. If you were looking to sell it, that candle was real nice. But just because I'm in other trades right now, not gonna be looking to trade GBP USD, until we can get the break, of that right there. Yeah. So that's how I feel about GBP USD. But if that doesn't happen, and then we start to see the break of this level right here, we'll be looking to take it to the next level of resistances, wherever that would be, maybe like right here or whatever. Like, to me, selling this is still the better risk to reward rather than buying it. Not I said Euro USD. I meant to say GBP USD was kind of like the same thing as AUD USD, but still kind of like the same thing with Euro USD, right? Looking at Euro USD on the 4-hour chart, to me kind of looks like a head and shoulders. So that's why I was in the sell, but I didn't close out just because the structure was starting to look like a head and shoulders, right? We had this high right here, we had this right here, and then we had this right here, followed by good momentum. So I like this, still to the downside. Looks like a kind of like a head and shoulders pattern, and then or we could even put that. Sorry, right, right. So yeah, there was just a lot of noise in this area. That's why I didn't close out of the trade, and I'm not risking much, so I don't usually let my stop loss run. But just because I wasn't risking too much, I let my stop loss run, and just because I was aware of the rejection area in this area, I didn't close out of the trade, and just because my stop loss was really small, and I wasn't risking a lot. So yeah, so I'm just looking, if this can start to head back in my direction. It almost is. I think I'm only down about 20 something pips now, but just want to see if it can start to break these levels right here, and if you can start to head lower. But yeah, that's it for USD. USD JPY. I'm staying away from this just because we have that Bank of Japan news coming out, right? But it's been holding, right? We see that we wicked heavy. It held, right? We wicked heavy. It held, right? We wicked heavy. It held, and then we have this wick right here. So not a clean structure, right? But bullish though, in my opinion. But we have that Bank of Japan news, I think, coming out on Monday. So be cautious. That's all I have to say for anybody who is trading that. GBP JPY. Just want to see what's gonna happen between these support and these resistance levels, right? Are we gonna break out of it and start to trend lower, or are we gonna bounce one more time? And that Bank of Japan news will be important, right? So if the yen is weak, we can start to see this start to trend higher potentially. And if the yen is strong, we might start to see this downtrend. So I'm just gonna be patient. That's crazy because I had a setup on CAD JPY, just didn't take it because I was in other pairs. But wow, it actually did that wonderfully. I actually did that wonderfully. It's a lot of pips too. A little bit upset that I didn't take that. Not that it actually happened, but right. CAD JPY, we have this last support level that it's coming down to right here. So just to keep it simple, if we could find a bounce from here, that's one option. But if we start to break, then looking to just continue to sell this. But yeah, that's how I feel about CAD JPY, not to overcomplicate it. But yeah, that's pretty much everything I'm looking at for this week. Take a look at my take a look at, I'm gonna cut that. Take a look at my, no, there's no need to cut that, do I? Yeah, because my password isn't in there, but whatever, yeah. Didn't mean to click that, and I clicked it again. Take a look at my FTMO account. See that I am, with equity, I'm only up 1.40%, but I'm up about 2% without the trades that I'm in right now. So just looking to see if these trades can go my way this week. And if they can go my way this week, then I should be finally passing my FTMO account. I'm hoping to pass it this week. If things trend this week, then things will be good. But just have to see. But thank you to everybody who takes the time out to watch these videos. If anybody actually even makes it to the end of this, then I applaud you, because yeah, I know most people usually don't make it to the end, but thank you to everybody who likes, comments, and subscribes. Let's have a good trading week. Let's have a good Sunday. Let's have a good every day. Just trying to be better mentally. I lack. I have a lot of mental struggles personally. Not really something I talk about, but how you feel in the. I'm not calling it Forex like. I'm not saying it's not real life, because it's very real. Like a lot of things, like Forex, literally go hand in hand with life. But how you feel on this earth as a trader, how you feel on this earth would directly reflect the decisions you make. And there's no ifs, ands, and buts or that. You can't be in a bad mood trying to trade well. It doesn't work, leads to my knowledge. So just trying to be strong mentally, right? Trying to hold these trades, trying to be strong mentally, trying to be strong on the charts, right? Not have FOMO, not exit trades early, and things of that. So yeah, thank you guys all again. As always, thank God as well. And I will see you guys very soon. Thank you.